how to use the intraoral camera in XVCapture. So with each intraoral camera, there may be a few settings that our technicians will help you out with. Come into Advanced User Tools, go into Preferences. Your team leaders will know the password here. Click OK. Third option on the left-hand side from the bottom, we want to double-click into Image Extensions and come into the Still Image Capture. You can either drop down or double-click. We want to find the Direct Video. And please uncheck the X that will be here. You do not want to have a check mark here. You want that box empty. That's important when we're taking intraoral camera images in a layout. And click OK. Now we're ready to get started once we click OK again. This is the home screen. We've bridged over here from your practice management software. Your team leaders will show you how to get to this page. Let's click on Capture Images. Your patient's name will auto-populate. I'm going to choose my test patient from my MRU, my most recently used. You can completely skip choosing this and click on Capture Images if you want. Completely your call. Capture Images. And we're looking for the device that says Direct Video Digital Capture. That is your intraoral camera. Highlight the tooth or teeth that you need to acquire. So you can choose a layout. Your office may want to think about the layout that you need to create that best serves you. How many intraoral photos do you take on your images? But if you're working on an area and you just want to highlight a few teeth, just highlight the teeth that you're taking an image of. And your image comes, your camera should light up. Your video devices, you want to make sure it's the USB. Let's take some images of this model here. So you're going to take your images. So the teeth that we selected, when these thumbnails appear, this is the only place in the software while you've got an active camera interface up that you could right click and delete that current image. You could right click and delete that current image. Right click, you could delete all and start over. You could right click and view full screen or double click. All of the tools that we use here in the lower right hand corner on an X-ray, brightness, contrast, zooming in and zooming out, they're available to you. Once you've decided I'm keeping these 3 images, we want to click on Done, and those 3 images will load with the teeth numbers associated. You can always use the Capture Additional Images, whether into the series to take more. As a new study, you could choose your direct video. You want to choose your direct video capture. And if you chose the whole upper right quadrant, maybe you're working on that whole upper right side, then your images that you take will be labeled as a quadrant. So these 3 images that I take, again, right click to delete any of those and view full screen. When I say done, they will all populate as Q1. You can choose a layout. Once you've created a layout that you really love, let's go to New Study, Capture Additional Images, New Study. Direct Video Digital Capture. You can choose any layout that you have now. Think about the layout that you need to create that best serves your practice. There's one here, there's 32 tiles for this, 32 tiles. We can even use the FMX18 until you decide on what you want to create. Clicking on the FMX18, when I start my progression capture, my device will appear. And you know, the FMX18 is navigated differently. So in a layout, here's what happens. Those 4 images will populate into the first 4 tiles. This is not typically how we take in intraoral photos, but upper right, lower left. So think about the layout that you need to create. But when you use a layout, when I say done, these 4 photos will populate into 1, 2, 3, 4 tiles. 1, 2, 3, and 4. My camera lights back up because it's like you're not finished taking images. So we see tile 5 highlighted, and when I take more images, and I say done. Those images go to 5, 6, and 7. Now I can always rearrange, left hold, left hold, left hold, and drag those images where they need to go. When I highlight an image, so I can, completely arrange them to the point that where they need to go. I can turn my sensor off, turn my camera off by clicking in the upper right, and I can even rotate these images. So highlight that image and let's flip it vertically. Let's rotate it 90 degrees. I can change the view of these images, and if I wanted to, double click and expand this view and close it down. So that's how we use a layout. We've got a video on how to create a layout. Think about the layout that your office needs to create that best serves you with your intraoral camera. If you don't fulfill all the tiles, maybe you're just taking images on the upper quadrant or the upper arch. If you're through, click on Done. It will ask you, are you sure, because you've left these tiles blank. Just say, yes, I'm sure. And those images with those teeth numbers associated appear. That's how we use our intraoral camera in XVWeb, whether we're taking a single image, several images of the teeth, if we want to name them the quadrant, or if we want to use a layout and create our own layout, actually would be the best idea for each office. But you can use the layouts that are available for you, drag and drop your images where they need to go, flip and rotate. And these are auto forwarding. Lower right hand corner, you're going to see that forwarding status. If you've got that latest version of 3.5, it will auto forward. If you don't, you will need to manually click this save and go back button in order for these images to make it to your cloud-based system.